Fuck, this is a very bad idea. Oh god. Are you guys happy now? Okay, I legitimately cannot see in these. Okay, that's much better. You probably have a lot of questions in your head right now, and I'll answer the first one for you. No, I'm not an actual fox. If I was, I would probably be immediately deported out of this country or euthanized right now or something, because it technically is illegal to have pests over here in this country. The second question you may have is, why the heck did I decide to do a Rambo-style face reveal when I could have just shown my entire face instead? To answer that, one, frick you all. Number two, I don't like to show my full face. So deal with it. The third question you might ask is this seriously the person that I've been listening to for well over 2 years? Is this literally the face of the Fox boy that I thought was really cool or something? Insert something over here. I don't even know what the compliments are anymore. Apparently I have a good voice. I don't know. And the reality is, yeah, this is me. The guy who made FoxNZ. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this nice face reveal. Okay, this video is probably more than just a face reveal, I swear to God. It's not even a face reveal. It's only half a face. You get my eyes, and that's all I've shown in PAX Australia as well, so deal with it. So I wanted to make this video as a nice way to end off, like, whatever the frick the year 2022 is. I don't freaking know. And what better way to end the year off than to give something that people keep asking me all the time, despite me saying I don't want to give a shite about it. Now, let me address something first. I am not going to be adding webcams to my streams, because I hate that, and I don't like my face. Number two is that you're not going to expect any other videos with a webcam, mostly, except for probably just one-on-one talks from you and me and stuff like that. And thirdly, this is all you're gonna get. If you ask me to, like, show off the rest of my face or anything like that, I will literally tell you to go the frick out of here. Okay, now let's go to the main topic of the video, and that is to recap the year of 2022, whatever the frick that year is, because I have no idea how to describe it. It has been a wacky year. Not as wacky as 2020, mind you, or 2021. It's its own style wackiness. So it's whack. So I'm going to be wanting to recap on all the events of both this channel and somewhat outside of the channel a little bit to kind of reflect and also cringe at, because there probably are some, like, a lot of cringe moments, but I hopefully did not add that to the script that I made. Anyway, let's do a little bit of a recap of what happened in the year 2022, despite me only uploading 2 videos on this channel. So in January, my family and I went to Queenstown for a vacation because, you know, it was the end of 2021. We always trying to aim for, like, a nice vacation by the end of each year. And overall, it wasn't too eventful. We saw a lot of, like, I don't know, 1.18 IRL terrain, other stuff, I guess. So that was pretty fun. I mean, I flew a helicopter to a mountain and touched snow, even though it was January 2022 here in New Zealand. But overall, it was pretty enjoyable. It was a nice time to relax. There wasn't really too much that happened, I think. I hope. I think I got sunburned, I think, at one point, but it wasn't too bad. So that was basically the main event in January. Other than that, I attempted to also recruit some video editors to help with the production of the 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 highlights that I keep delaying for more than 1 year or so. Spoiler alert, that did not work very well. And all the editors, which I only managed to get 3 applicants for, and 2 of them dropped out immediately when I asked for some help on the production of 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶, the last remaining editor did a few, let's say, not quality rough cuts, and then realized how much of a pain in the arse editing this freaking videos were. And I paid 300 Australian dollars in basically the wages and compensation, and in return I only get 3 bad cuts of 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 highlights, which I have to go through again. So that has gone very well. And for basically the rest of the entire year, I was stuck alone having to work on the 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 videos while juggling university as well, because I have university studies. But yeah, if you've been wondering why I have not been uploading anything onto this channel for a year or so, yeah, that's why. Now, despite not being able to upload at least 2 videos for this year, unless you count these ones, I guess, I did manage to invest a little bit more on the gear on the live streaming side of basically the FoxNZ content lineup, I guess, because we have the YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, the Twitch channel, Twitter, I guess, these things. So around late January, I basically invested a little bit on a range of different like projects, I guess I should say, other than like the Twitch streams and the YouTube channel that is still in complete utter limbo. I wanted to really work on like a retro gaming sort of thing or tech refurbished sort of thing, and I have like so much gear over here, like at a shelf right next to me, that is ready to go if I had the time to make a freaking play thing for that, and I didn't have that. And I also was one person, which kind of sucked. Since I didn't have an editor, I did not have anyone else helping with the production of this. I don't have any writers for any sort of like scripted stuff I kind of want to do. Everything has been put on hold, and I am just mad at myself because I deserve this. Everything. But regardless, I still kind of want to keep working on these projects, and so far either next year or 2023 is going to be like a potential sort of year for me to work on these sort of things, or maybe 2024. But those were some of the projects that I kind of wanted to work on for this year and failed completely. Now, not everything has been a loss. I did pay for a lot of better camera equipment, so the camera that you're looking at right now has been a paid sort of investment I made on January, and I basically invested a lot of camera gear, and some of it was heavily utilized in PAX Australia that I forgot to make a highlights of and failed. But overall, I was also able to use the camera equipment for some of the Twitch streams, so all the ham cam stuff and also the view of the desktop and all stuff for like the subathon streams recently were used the gear that I bought. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. So that's basically January. We basically went to some places, bought some things, and I couldn't get an editor. What a great start to the year. What happened in February? I think the only thing that I know of that's most notable to me at least was the fact that our 2-year hardcore world almost got completely corrupted because for whatever reason I forgot to remove the backups that were each like 12 gigs big. So as a result, I had to like reset like a month worth of progress to fix all of that, and that wasn't great, but I kind of managed to deal with that, I guess. And I guess we started on a new project for that 2-year hardcore world, so that was pretty nice. So in March, I started going to university, and it was pretty alright. I don't want to tell any details yet of what I'm studying or what university I am, because I don't want people. And during that month, I also opened up the Ko-Fi page, which if you want to see even more content, there you go. It's a lot of content. You just had to pay $1 per month, and you're able to get access to everything. Or just pay me $1. I don't really care. But basically, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, as well as like a lot of teaser stuff, I guess, for like future projects and whatnot, have been posted onto the Ko-Fi page, and it was a pretty nice sort of platform to kind of share some ideas, even though the blog formatting kind of sucks. So then around the end of March, I guess, I also suddenly became very hyped with a certain Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, I guess. And I watched the movie on March 31st because apparently early screenings were made in New Zealand for whatever reason, despite Americans having to suffer. There was a lot of interesting stuff that happened in April, with me starting off with like a practice subathon stream, which I failed miserably, I guess, on the 1st of April because for whatever reason, I don't know why I did this to myself, but every single year since 2018, for like every year since 2018, I always wanted to like try and aim for like a long duration stream of some kind, either for charity or something. And then I would just suffer along the way because that's how traditions work, I guess. That will happen next year, definitely. Now, around April, I basically was already middle of like university work. I also had to deal with video production work and stuff like that, and pretty much everything was pretty much like good and under wraps until my family wanted to get a cat. Interview. Yes, interview. Why is this not focusing? What do you want to say? You don't want to say anything? Why are you running away? So as a result of getting the cat and having to deal with it in my life, I basically now turn my entire Twitter account into a 𝗦cie gallery. So I hope you enjoyed the cat pictures on my Twitter account. And to wrap things up for April and also the beginning of March, apparently, because I forgot to add that detail, I experimented with a lot of IRL content using the same camera gear that I mentioned since January. So I did a few bits of IRL streams on Discord and on Twitch under the name of _𝗦ecie_𝗶 and stuff like that, and it went meh. it kind of went meh. It didn't really go much anywhere. There wasn't that many people that were watching it. I mean, it was fun. I'll definitely want to try it again. But the gear that I used, or the setup that I used, was kind of janky. So anyway, I stopped doing it, unfortunately. But it was fun back then. Kind of. Right, May happened. Not much really happened during May. I tried to force myself to make an update video and failed. And in order to prepare for PAX Australia, I wanted to see if there's any sort of convention grounds in Auckland that I could try and warm myself into, so that way I can understand the sort of convention vibe of not dying in large crowds. So there was the Armageddon Expo that happened on June 10th of 2022, this same day that it was the 2-year anniversary of my hardcore world. So I spent the day there, and it was pretty fun. Even though I did not have friends, so I did not have anyone to hang out with. So that was fun. But I did manage to meet the voice actor for the Tails boy, 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹, and she was pretty energetic to be doing a lot of conventions all over the place. But yeah, I also got a signed copy of Sonic 2 because I brought a thing along. And Sonic 2. What the hell happened in June? I mean, I guess the 2-year anniversary of the Fox Hardcore World stuff, and then, of course, Armageddon Expo, which I literally said during the May recap. What the frick is wrong with me? And then I tried to make a highlight video for the Armageddon Expo, and I failed that as well. Then around, I think the 13th of June, a few days after the Hardcore World anniversary, there was the Gamescom event, and, a lot of, game announcements that were made. Basically, I was hyped out about Minecraft Legends and the upcoming Sonic Frontiers. Then, around the end of June, I participated in 𝗦ście𝗰𝗶 Winter Bitfest, which is basically where you throw all the Twitch subs and bits or whatever like that in order to give me a crap ton of money, Twitch a lot of money, and I get rewards. That was a fun event. I had to eat some pufferfish for some gifted subs. And I basically felt pretty exhausted after all of that, because it was basically 2 subathon streams and me trying to tell people to not give me money, but only a small handful of people gifted subs and whatnot, but it was still pretty fun, and that led up to another Bitfest related event happening later that year. But yeah, it was fun. I guess it's probably best to address the elephant in the room when talking about July, because on the 1st of July we got the video of Technoblade unfortunately passing away. And there obviously is a bit of a sort of history of me with Technoblade in the past. You can easily look at some of the older videos that I made, and there was a bunch of videos of me hanging out with people from the Techno Clan, which is the sponsored Discord server of people who were rich enough to buy those memberships from his channel and stuff like that. And me, along with other members, as well as Technoblade in some parts, hang out a little bit and played a few Hypixel games, even other games that aren't even related to Hypixel and stuff like that, and it was pretty fun. And outside of the stuff that I just published onto the YouTube channel, there actually is a lot of sort of history, I guess, or not really much history, but a lot of interesting moments that happened between people in the Technoclan, myself included, and Technoblade being pretty much like a Technoblade, I would say. Where he basically ditched us while doing a dungeon in Minecraft for whatever reason. And honestly, it was really fun. Back all the way in mid-2019. That was honestly a really fun sort of part of my life back then. It's gone forever though, but it was fun. It was fun, I would say. But yeah, there really isn't that much I would say about what to talk about it. I wanted to try and make a video at least a month after the announcements, and I just failed to do that because just been very busy and stuff like that. But yeah, it still feels hollow. The world is hollow. There's just something missing now. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it. Anyway, moving from there, or segueing from there, I guess. I tried to release the Fox Hardcore World Season 6 wallpapers around the same time where that video was being announced, and I was yep, I'm not gonna feel like I'm selling out or taking advantage of the situation whatsoever. That just, it's a bad move in the long term. So I delayed the sort of release of those wallpapers later on, and pledged to give half of the sales revenue towards the 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 Foundation in America. To this very day, you can still buy some of those Fox Hardcore World wallpapers, and half of the money that you spend on would go straight towards the 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 Foundation. if you want to support me and the foundation if you want. It's all up to you. Anyway, and I guess the last sort of point in the freaking script is that I changed my Minecraft name because I hated the name _Fox for such a long time, and I finally got rid of the username because it's just, I mean, I'm called FoxNZ now, and I can't take it because someone already took it, but yeah, just FoxDSD will be enough. I don't want to really explain too much about why I chose that name, but yeah, it's better than _Fox. I'm not a big fan of that name anymore. Alright, August. August was, well, the only point that's in August was that I uploaded like a 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶 recap on my birthday, and that was basically it. That was August. September, I uploaded another video, and that was the first episode of Season 6, which is the 2-year hardcore world I was mentioning before. It was after months of basically editing through the pacing of the entire video, and yeah, it was a painful experience. All I can really say is that editing these highlights or stream highlights were really painful in so many ways that even if I try to articulate it, I don't think you guys can really feel the amount of pain that accumulated after like a few days of working on this. It was not even a few days, a few months. It was not really fun after a while. And that's why I wanted to get editors. But they also found it painful. So, you know, I'm screwed. I'm kind of screwed here. Then a few days later, Queen Elizabeth II died, which probably hit a lot of people like out of nowhere because, to be frank, we thought Queen Elizabeth was going to be pretty much invincible for quite some time. So she finally passed away, and all of our currency is now redundant. I'm kidding. Then I guess to wrap up the rest of the entire month, I experimented with doing the FoxNZ radio streams, which I then stopped because it was a terrible thing to maintain and it did not really attract that many people to listen to it. Right, October was a fun month because it was the month that I went to Australia alone for the first time in Melbourne. And all of that was to attend a convention by the name of PAX Australia, which I mentioned earlier. And it was a pretty fun event. There was a lot of stuff to do there. I filmed so much B-roll and A-roll of like stuff that I want to like make into a video, which of course did not happen. And I was also able to hang out with like a bunch of other cool Minecraft content creators, namely like Just Dash, 𝗬𝗠, 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹, and then some guy by the name of 𝗦tože for whatever reason, and like many more that I completely forgot their names because I'm a social introvert who hates social contact and I hate myself. And other than that, there was like a lot of other events that happened during those days as well. I managed to play the first Sonic Frontiers demo in Australia. I managed to interview a bunch of like indie developers into a video that isn't able to happen by the end of this year. And since I have the privilege of being a guy with a tick right next to their Twitch name, I managed to go to like a few exclusive events that was held only for Twitch partners. So that was fun. And overall, the overall cost for having to deal with all that was like over $1,000 in flights and accommodation, and my hotel safe and a self-checkout for Woolies, apparently. After PAX Australia and went back to New Zealand and all that stuff, there was Minecraft Live that happened and showed off a few cool features that were just a bit interesting. Then I basically grinded the frick out 𝗠𝗠 𝗟𝗏 after doing the interview with Massive Monsters earlier. Then around the end of October, we launched the first variety gaming stream thing that is a regular occurrence called Fox vs. Everything. More about that later in the future because it's still, how do I describe it? It's in progress, maybe. I don't freaking know. But anyway, that's basically October. It was a fun month. And then came November. November is basically when I was basically free from university work, so I had like a lot of free time, and motivational issues became a problem. So that was fun. But I did also make the sort of choice to finally relaunch the VOD channel, because I used to have a VOD channel back in 2020, and then deleted it because I thought it was a waste of time. But hey, now the VOD channel is back. And then I also launched like a newsletter by the name of Wacky Things, which has only one post as of making this video because I'm a lazy freaking bastard. And also I don't know how to write stuff correctly, and I hate myself for being that. And around November 8th was the release date for Sonic Frontiers, and I basically played the frick out of it 1 hour after launch, and then just streamed the entire thing as much as possible, and I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty fun game. And definitely not an unbiased way at all. But anyway, after all that sort of like fun sort of conundrum, I finally got COVID-19. So that was fun. I was basically bedridden for at least 1 day, and it was very well timed as well, because literally a week afterwards I had to deal with 𝗦ście𝗰𝗶𝗹 Subfest, which is the summer version of the BitFest event that I mentioned earlier. And that did less great compared to the Winter Bitfest version, but it was still pretty fun. I did subathons throughout the entire event, but oh well. And then reached December, where the subfests continue on and all that stuff. And yeah, December. At some time, I think December 8th, I went to TEDx Auckland, as well as the retro event that happened nearby at the Barfoot and Thompson sort of stadium and whatnot. And there was a lot of cool retro stuff over there. But the TEDx talks were also very, very interesting, I would say. Then for any Sonic fan, you either got completely pissed off on December 8th after realizing that Sonic Frontiers lost the Player Vote Award to Genshin Impact, and then got hyped again on December 15th with the release of Sonic Prime. So that was also pretty fun to watch. And then unexpectedly, on December 19th, I did the most pro-gamer move imaginable and lost my 2-year hardcore world. So that was fun. And then the day afterwards, I started another hardcore world. Until I lost that as well today, as of recording this. So that was basically the nice sort of recap of all the stuff that happened with FoxNZ or something related. And yeah, 2022 was a pretty nice, wacky year, I guess. 2022 wasn't really much of a great growth year for any channel in particular that I owned, whether it's the FoxNZ Twitch channel or this YouTube channel. So overall, it's not been an amazing sort of year, I guess, for content-wise for this channel and other stuff that I've owned. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be the end. I have a lot of plans for what could happen for 2023, and I'm not going to exactly share them just yet, but I would recommend joining the Wacky Discord server below, and also taking look at my Twitter account for any sort of sneak peeks, I guess, or my Ko-Fi account specifically. But yeah, so far, it's not been a very perfect year. It wasn't even a great year in some ways, but it was a very interesting year. 2022 was just that, a very interesting year. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for what 2023 has to offer. There's a lot of plans for what I want to do for the next hardcore world I'm working on. There's a lot of plans in terms of content, as well as diversifying the content, so that way I don't have to rely on just more block game stuff all the time. So there's a lot of things that are in the pipeline, but I'll be waiting to show that off for you guys next year. So I hope you guys had a pretty nice happy holidays for the past week or so, because I had a bit of a interesting journey with that. And you also have a pretty nice happy new year as well. I cannot say that 2023 is going to be the best year of your life or anything like that, but definitely make it a good year. In small ways in your way. But anyway, that's basically all for me. Hope you had a pretty nice happy holidays as always. I'll see you guys sometime with another video, hopefully. And yeah, have a happy new year, I guess. I don't know how to do an outro, honestly. I never really do these sort of in-person sort of things. I can end this video like that, and it just delays after a few seconds.